Hey, teaching has been something that I have so far made this channel all about, where I, in fact, left teaching very recently, more recent than what pretty much any teacher has. I left right after student teaching, but I've been noticing a common trend in Gen Z, and it's that a lot of them too quit very early. Some after a few years, some after 3 years, some after 8 years, some like me, and even some of the veterans out there that are leaving after 20 years. It's just insane to kind of see the change in the school system. And I just kind of, I already gave my sort of rant. I already have it on my channel of why I essentially left teaching. I am personally going into med school next year, getting ready to do that, doing a quick little post back. And yeah, I just figured today we just kind of look at some of these TikToks and see how other people feel about teaching and why they left as well. So let's get into it. So right off the bat, we've got this video here. Let's see.
It slowly stole my personality.
Right.
Hobbies gone,
Yep.
liveliness in the drain. The
Yep.
willingness or want to do anything fun, weekend or the want or
Very true. I mean, some of the kind of feedback that I got whenever I was teaching was I sort of felt like when I would get off of work, all I was pretty much worried about was how much time I had left before the next day would continue. And then I would just think in the back of my mind, racing back and forth of what happened throughout the day, thinking of, will this student bother me the next day? Is this student going to do another ruckus and mess again? I mean, it is really tolling when you're working with a lot of children in a way in which there's like so much expectations and responsibility put on you, way more than some of these parents, way more responsibility on these kids than some of these parents have. It's really scary. But yeah, I mean, I don't blame her.
excitement to get dressed up, get ready, productive, have a good
Right.
day, like
I
just
mean, yeah,
depressed. Like
yeah,
it ripped it from my soul. I had a couple days
don't
since my
blame.
last day in my classroom to process how I'm feeling about leaving, and I'm realizing that quitting this job feels very similar to how I felt leaving a toxic relationship.
Exactly. When I decided halfway through my student teaching, I said, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going to fulfill the contract, but I am going to finish it out. I felt so much better. Now, given today the job market is absolutely cooked, I'm not going to just pretend like that isn't the case, which in turn causes a lot of problems and doubts for a lot of people who want to transition out of teaching. But I'm telling you right now, the amount of people that I've seen willing to sacrifice their salary just to get out of this profession is alarming. Very scary. Good for her. This is pretty much a common feeling that I felt when I was getting out of it. It definitely did feel like getting out of a toxic breakup and relationship.
I don't know who I am. I don't know who my personality is anymore. I don't know what my hobbies are. I don't know what I like. I don't know what I want to do for
So sad.
fun. Like, I have to figure out who I am as a person all over again. And I'm really excited to do it. Like, I have
Yeah,
motivation
yeah.
to want to do it. I have
There you
motivation to want to
go.
put effort into
There
myself
you
all over
go.
again. I want to read books
Yes.
again. Like, I'm just
Yes.
extremely excited
So
to
much
figure out
more
who I
time.
am as a human in this stage of my life.
Good for her. I don't know how to snap, but good for her. I mean, just in and of itself, kind of going back to what she was talking about dressing and all that, it got to a point where I didn't really care what I was wearing. Like, I would just toss on, like, whatever outfits I got to wear. I would always just toss on a puffer jacket and just go to work. I didn't really care about doing my hair because I was so tired and exhausted. I literally would just wear a beanie even if it was super hot. And I mean, it honestly is so draining. I don't blame her. And I mean, think about it. She's talking about right there in the caption that teaching took away her 20s. And she's also not wrong about the idea that it just makes you so much more hungry when you chase that second career option. I have never been more sure of me trying to go ahead and go to medical school to be a doctor because I'm thinking every single day, every time it gets hard, whenever I'm doing my volunteering or research or any of that sort of work or in my prerequisite courses, I'm thinking it's better than just teaching. For me, it's better than teaching. Next one right here.
Mick Mama here. I was the
Hello.
teacher that did her final this past
Congrats.
December.
Good for you.
And I just appreciate all the support that I'm getting. I was just going to tell you a little bit about my experience.
Go for it. Go for it.
So my second year, people are asking why I resigned in the year. Well, my
Second year
of teaching.
Second year
I
of
got
teaching.
so sick.
Uh-huh,
I was
right,
young. We were supposed to
unfortunately.
greet our student. So I was like
Right.
high-fiving 150 students every day. And
Yep,
my immune
that
system just
wow.
couldn't handle it. And then we had parent-teacher conferences. And since we had
Annoying.
150 students, we do them in 2 nights. And so
2 nights.
we have a large amount of parents that come.
75 per
Anyway,
night.
I thought
Wait,
she was my friend. but my
nighttime? Nighttime. So you've taught the entire day. Then at nighttime, you're going to go ahead and do those 75 student parent conferences.
friend sat down and we were just talking about her student, and she just told me, she said, that worksheet that you sent home the other night was so stupid. And I
Wait, her friend? Her friend said that. Her friend.
I couldn't believe she said it. It's like, is this really happening? The blood from my leg all the way to my head, it was like a volcano.
Okay, yeah, understood.
I'm going to tell you more about my experience teaching in my next video.
All right, cool.
Peace.
This is what I'm talking about. You, and for me, I personally, I didn't even have to make lesson plans. It happened to be within this workbook that everyone in the math department was using. But man, so many of my friends that are teachers, they'll go put their blood, sweat, and tears into making this fun lesson plan with a game, all the stuff that I wasn't the most perfect teacher in the world. So, you know, I wasn't really going to be putting in the effort to do that, but they did. And they arguably and definitely had a much harder time teaching than I ever did. And I did honestly just what I needed to do. I never went the above and beyond insane extra steps like they did. And for that to happen, just to be told like, hey, this was stupid. Why do we even need to learn this? Why do we need to learn math? It honestly just feels like a humiliation ritual a lot of the times. And I feel like that's a problem that a lot of people maybe feel like when they're teaching. They feel like it's humiliating to present stuff that maybe you spend such a long time working through and perfecting just for most of the room to not really care that much, to be honest with you. Next one here. I resigned from teaching in January and I just found out the video from the day I quit. I wish I could go back and show her what life looks like now.
I think I'm putting in my letter of resignation today.
Good for you.
I'm talking quietly so no one can hear me.
Nah, say it out loud. I would say it out loud. You're
I've
free.
been thinking about it for a while. And it's a Teacher Institute Day.
Teacher Institute Day.
It's a good time to do it.
Yeah.
I'm just so nervous.
Should be. I mean, it's a hard thing. It's a
a
hard thing to do. Cry. If you gotta cry, do it.
I really wish I loved teaching.
It's okay. It's okay. You didn't fail. It failed you.
It's nothing like I thought.
Exactly. It's really not. You go through your teaching credential and they teach you about this pedagogy or whatever that word is. They teach you about all these specific strategies and these like philosophical ideas. And then it just goes out the complete window when you're worried about kids screaming these crazy things out loud and you're trying to get them to not throw things across the room. You're trying to get them to not do all these chaotic things. Of course, it's going to be nothing like you thought it was.
Even though
we all find out the hard way.
Again next year, I very well could. It's at a different
You could.
school.
You could.
But I think getting it off my chest to act like I'm coming back will help. And I love what I work with.
Yeah.
I feel like
Then that's completely
I'm
fine.
glad I'm a year in instead of 30 years in to stay for retirement
Yes.
purposes, like a lot of teachers
Yes, exactly. I have heard from so many different teachers who have always said to me, they said, if you don't want to do this career, get out as early as possible, because of the fact that you shouldn't become like those other teachers who sit through the misery. Of course, there are some that have no choice by ends means. They need to work always, so they are essentially kind of stuck within it. But at the same time, you know, a lot of other people, I mean, even then, I know some people who have applied for tons and tons of jobs. I know the job market again is cooked, but they were able to get out. They were able to somehow find a way. And I think the kind of the privilege and the fortunate side of things that we have as Gen Z a lot of the times is that, you know, we are early into this career field. You are early into it. You just started out your first, second, third. Even if you're in your fifth year, you can still, it's still early. But the hardest thing to do is do not compare yourself. Do not. Yes, there are engineers our age that are making way more than us, that never thought about the idea of teaching. But don't compare yourself in that lane. You're leaving a profession that you were lied to about what it was going to be. Don't blame yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. Do this for your own sake. The money will come, I promise you. You just have to be willing to take that step to venture out and actually give yourself that opportunity to look for other things. So I mean, good for her. It definitely is an emotional thing to leave teaching. You probably spent over 5 years in college and the credential as well, thinking you're going to become a teacher just for it to be not what you wanted, not even a year into it. It's scary. I don't blame her. What we got here?
Teacher, here's the single biggest reason why I decided that I couldn't be a teacher anymore.
Single
There's
biggest
no
reason?
accountability in schools. There's no accountability for students. There's no accountability for teachers. And there's no accountability for parents. Students can pretty much do whatever they want. They got the freedom to be late to class every single day. They can roam around the hallways every single day and not go to class.
Trust me, if you don't believe this guy and if you're working a job right now or anything like that, try to see if you can pick up a subbing gig, substitute for 1 day, and you'll see what this guy is talking about right here.
They cannot do their assignments. They can be disruptive, and there's no repercussions. There's no accountability. And the worst part is it's not really even the student's fault. You can't really blame them because the system is not holding them accountable. Now, there are some schools that have great administration and they're
Essentially, I personally feel like it runs both ways. I'm not going to fully blame the kids, and I'm not going to fully blame the administration. I think it is just a collective kind of connection that needs to be there in order for it to run very well. That's where it gets tricky in of itself, because teachers are kind of in the middle of that, and they're kind of expected to manage both of those things as well. And in turn, you're doing more work than either side. You're doing more work than the administrators. You're doing more work than the students. And meanwhile, they think you're doing the least amount of work.
They're trying super hard, and they're doing many things to improve the system and to make it better. But most schools, there's no accountability going on. I think you would be shocked if you were to go into school and see what was happening. And if you try to talk to parents, there's a very select few that actually help with it. But the vast majority, they either don't know what to do, or they're just completely helpless and they enable it. And there's so many bad teachers.
I mean, how many teachers have heard you tell a parent about something, and then the parent says, well, you need to make sure my kid's on task. You need to do a better job. Not my kid, bro. Oh, man.
Teachers that shouldn't be teaching, but there's nobody that's holding them accountable or doing anything about it. And this is...
Yeah, I agree. Some teachers do suck and nothing's happening. I wasn't the most superstar teacher ever, but I did what I needed to do. And what sucks is that there was probably superstar teachers out there that were going even more above and beyond than me, who essentially never really got that much more of a reward than I did. And same with the teachers that are absolutely garbage. I feel like a large attribution to that is that, well, not much is happening to them either, so why should they go out of their way to go above and beyond, especially in a system that doesn't reward you for being an amazing teacher, really.
Coming from a teacher that had great classroom management. Yes, I had some disruptive kids that were hard to keep them
focused.
We all
do.
And that's normal. But the vast majority of the issues that I experienced was because there's no accountability. There's nothing you can do. You can try to hold students accountable, and they're shocked by it because they're not used to it. That's just one of the reasons why I left.
Wow, they're shocked by it. Can you imagine this? And this isn't even going back to the early 2000s. I'm talking about the 2010s, because I was in high school late 2010s. That was completely normal. A student to take accountability for their actions. It's only been like a few years since I graduated high school, and you're telling me that students are shocked by accountability. What? Like I said the story in my other video, but I remember I subbed for a classroom, and one of the girls students in the classroom, she went up to me and she said, wow, you were an amazing sub. I feel like some subs, they think they can just tell us what to do. They think they can just get us to put our phones away, and they don't have no right to do that. They're not no teacher. And I was like, I mean, they're an adult. They're a certified staff member. You should probably listen to them, right? Oh my God. Mad. We got something about the phones, the phone ideology.
Take the phones away from the kids. They can't retain nothing. I can say, make sure you color each image.
Eating a salad
and
in
immediately someone will say,
is that from the school lunch?
Color the image? Y'all gotta take them phones away. I had a child.
I personally feel like the cell phone ban would not work at all. I think it would backfire, but we can let this keep going.
That I know she learned from Chris Brown, and you know that was a freaky deal. This is a fourth grader. Read books.
Fourth grader.
Multiple third graders couldn't read the directions. The directions read, color each image.
Oh my
Write
God.
an F for fruit and a V for vegetable.
Yeah, I was learning my times tables all the way to 14 in third grade.
Miss Austin, can you help me? I said, help you what? Read the direction. I said, you can't read. They said, no. I said, why not? They said, I don't know. I said, do you practice at home? They said, a little bit. Read them kids a goddamn book.
They're not practicing at home.
Not only do you need to take this away from the kids, you gotta feed them kids vegetables. You gotta show them real whole foods. They
like the salad right there in the video.
Mouth and fingers.
Oh God, the 7 a.m. talkies. I thought that only happened in middle school, high school. It's happening in elementary school now too.
But they don't know the color of a raspberry. I had a girl ask me if corn was a fruit. We watched a whole...
That's low-key a valid question, I'm not gonna lie. You'd be surprised how many people my age still would not be able to give you a straightforward answer.
Whole lesson on fruit.
After a whole lesson on fruit. Okay, maybe that's a bit different.
Bitch told me she ain't never seen a potato. Y'all gotta take them phones away from them kids. Take the phone.
So I personally feel like, especially when I worked at a private school for a semester, they already had a cell phone ban implemented, and in my humble opinion, I feel like it only made the bullying that was going on at that school go insane and intense, because I mean at some point, which is just such a sad statement, but at a certain point, kids being on their phones kind of makes them stay in their own lane, and there's all this brain rot going on, and it just sort of feels like they don't really mess with other people. They just kind of stay in their own lane, and it really sucks because, you know, before all this phones and when it was at least in moderation, because I mean, I went through the entirety of elementary school, middle school, high school with, you know, people having cell phones and all of this stuff, but you'd see more people playing sports than you would on their phones all day. And then when I do subbing, I mean, I'm seeing pretty much every single teacher putting on instructions for me that they got to put their phones away on a cell phone carrier, which is kind of showing the addiction the addiction stage of phones. But yeah, passionate rant. I love it. And she quit teaching today. Good for you. This one's a pretty sad one. Let's see.
I'm just feeling really bad. I feel bad that I feel bad.
Don't feel
and
bad.
I feel guilty.
Don't feel guilty.
I was so excited to start my first year of teaching.
And so many people are excited. So many people are. And it's not your fault. I can already see in the caption that it probably wasn't what you thought it was going to be. I'm sorry. There's a way to go past this. This wasn't just your life. Your life was not only dedicated solely to teaching. There's many ways that you can make an even greater impact in your own way that works for you than teaching.
But I feel so bad that I'm not even halfway through it and I quit.
And that's fine.
And I feel so bad.
That's fine. If it makes you feel better, at a certain point from how this was affecting you, you probably felt like you weren't at that high capacity level, that high battery that you would have wanted your past self to be able to give to these kids. You walking away was also looking out for those children, because it works both ways. They need your good energy, and then you need to feel good as well going into work. So don't let it hang on you with guilt.
I quit on the students. Like, I genuinely created bonds with over half of
and
my
that's
students.
good.
Like,
and that's
they
good.
Were always
that's
telling
good.
me I was their
People come
teacher.
and go, though, you know.
And I feel bad because I'm quitting them, and I don't want them to feel
you're not a failure. Quit, but you did it. You did it for the better. You did it for the better.
Somebody, I don't want them to feel like they're not important because somebody else quit on them. I don't want them to feel like they're not loved. I just don't want them nothing at all. But I know they are, because they will always tell me how much they love me and I'm their favorite. And they would skip their other classes just so they could sit in my class and be around me. Like,
yeah,
I feel
great feeling.
So bad, but it wasn't for me.
That's fine. It wasn't for you. That is completely fine that it wasn't for you. I loved working with you guys so much. I could tell that teaching wasn't my calling. I enjoyed working alongside you guys. Send that to the work group chat, I'm assuming. Class Dojo. Oh man, thank you so much for the opportunity to work in this position for the last couple of months. I really enjoyed it. Nice letter of resignation on Friday, October 7th. I wish the school continued success. And you know what? You did it in a respectful way. You sent the email. You let them know. You thanked everybody. Hey, some people, if I were in your position, I probably wouldn't have even told anybody. I would have just dipped. I would have told the principal I'm out, and I probably wouldn't have even told my other coworkers. So you're a stronger person than me. Pick your head up. You'll be able to bounce back from it. And it's better to realize this early on than later on, or just simply trying to put on a front and act like you're fine with it. Don't lie to yourself. If you are miserable in any career that you are doing right now, your mental health matters more than the check. It does. If you have the ability to sacrifice, please do it. It'll pay off. You will find something that is meant for you. Not everybody figures out what they wanted to do right away. Some people do have to go on this scenic route. Don't view it like you're failing. Don't view it like you're behind everybody out. You're just taking the scenic route of things. All right, last video up on here. Let's see.
Last day of being a teacher.
Last day. Congratulations.
4 weeks.
Isn't it so crazy? I mean, I know there's like a Reddit page that even shows people quitting teaching and stuff, and it's so insane. It's just like getting a new job, but they're celebrating leaving. It's phenomenal.
FMLA leave, and I put in my resignation.
Good for you.
About 2 weeks in. So this is my last day teaching 4th grade. Probably my last day teaching.
Elementary is hard.
I have an interview lined up on Wednesday
for
like an office coordinator.
Good for you.
Assistant job.
Nice.
Very excited for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, let me take you along with me.
Very cool. Oh man. Yeah, it's definitely got that classroom vibes.
A long-term sub, and she's been doing a really awesome job.
For you? Students got together and signed a card for me. Oh man, that must have been really emotional. Oh god. You know what? When I left teaching too, I was, and some students, they ran into me when I was doing subbing at the same high school a student taught at. Yeah, was definitely very emotional. I even me, someone who's just strongly against ever teaching again, I warmed up a little bit inside.
Absolutely bawled my eyes out on the way home, but you know what? It's for the best.
Yep, good for you.
So much shit in the back of my car, but
you paid for those. You paid for those probably. Yeah, take them home. Take them home. You probably paid for those supplies. They didn't pay for that for you. We know they didn't. Rip my huge classroom library. Hey, you can give it to family now.
Really excited.
Yep, it's a next chapter. Good for you. Good for you. Exactly, message stance. If you want to quit, do it. There's nothing stopping you. You know, there's free will, right? Do it. Do it. Don't worry what anyone tells you. I mean, you already pretty much did that probably whenever you told people that you wanted to be a teacher and they warned you against it, you ignored them. So the same way you did that, ignore anyone else who tries to talk you out of quitting. Leave it. Be wonderful. That was essentially some collection of videos of just kind of showing people who have left the profession and their thoughts after doing it for either a few months or a little over a year or whatever amount of time that has happened to Gen Z over in teaching. I just personally feel like it's not a coincidence that so many people within the new generation of teachers have been quitting. I think that having platforms like TikTok is very good in informing people for certain careers they want to see how it truly does feel like a day in the life. And I honestly feel like if you are somebody who is considering quitting teaching, has been on it for a heavy minute, you do want to quit. You do. And you should do it. Obviously, it's smart to have a plan, maybe get a job lined up like that last example that girl did. That was really good. Even if you don't have a plan, maybe if it's pushing you to the edge where you need to quit, do it. And yeah, just trust in it. But this is me right here. And yeah, hope you guys have a good one. Let me know if you want to see any more of video styles like this, if you want to hear more stories from my own experience of teaching. And yeah, catch y'all on the next one.